guys, it's 21 Maxwell here, and welcome to what will be a short series of videos, basically covering the whole TW universe and my WWE save, the wrestling world in 2019. Today we're going to be covering all the awards. We're also going to be looking at the company wars and the Power 500. Other future videos we're going to have will be basically documenting our full roster, which is a shitload of people, and then documenting our development companies, because there's quite a few of them. And if there's time, we may as well throw in another video. We'll be looking at kind of other companies and seeing who's the main guys in TNA, Ring of Honor, New Japan, PWG, etc., etc., and how the British scene is going with ICW, Progress, to name a few. And of course, we don't have WCPW just as yet in this save, as this was kind of before they'd really started off. That's how long I've been playing this save for. So let's crack straight into it. We've got a Wrestler of the Year, and it has went to Tanahashi. New Japan seems to be getting good matchup after good matchup. Tanahashi picks up the award here, Wrestler of the Year for 2018, meaning the Company of the Year went to New Japan. Quite disappointed it wasn't us. We always do have good shows. I feel like their showcases that they're going to have, because they are a performance-based company, is going to be rated a lot higher than some shows we may have that would be disappointing because of maybe our main event flop due to a lack of psychology. Team of the Year went to the tag team of Toros and El Zorro. So again, not us winning it. Another New Japan tag team. Toros is one of those guys, fairly over. We'll try and steal him at one point. So disappointed again, another non-WWE win. But as I say, it was noticed at the start of TW that all the Japanese companies seemingly were winning all these awards just because they were performance-based. Match of the Year, though, knocked out of the park, and it was the tag team match we had on SmackDown very recently. We had between Randy Orton and the Lone Wolf, Baron Corbin, against Roman Reigns and Zack Sabre Jr. So yet again, Roman Reigns involved in one of the Match of the Years. Show of the Year went to WWE Armageddon, so pretty much our last Raw pay-per-view, I believe that was, scoring the best show of the year. So that's very pleasing to see Armageddon doing so well there. If we go to our history, A-Star 96 got show of the year, and that was carried with a main event of Daniel Bryan versus Braun Strowman, and having good matches such as Seth Rollins versus The Miz and Dolph Ziggler versus Bo Dallas. So very shocked that that got so high, considering I felt it was a lackluster card, if I'm honest, having seen Owens pretty much doing nothing. So very happy with that. Young Wrestler of the Year went to Takehiro Yamamura, 24-year-old. Seems like he's working for Dragon Gate in-game. Seems to be doing well. We'll keep an eye on him. We'll look at his match history. There's a high rating of a 95 in there. A couple of low ratings as well, but definitely seems to have been peaking recently. That 95 actually coming in the last month or so that's good to see. If you look at 2017, a couple of decent matches. He's just really built up over time. Veteran Wrestler of the Year went to El Zorro, so he's picked up another one. New Japan again, with another good rating there. El Zorro, fairly over, 70 over, which will strike to a good bit of overness in Japan. So again, we're worrying, are we going to get anything? Are we going to get any awards for WWE? As always, we dominate the women's category. It is Crazy Mary Dobson, our WWE Women's Champion, who has won the Women's Wrestler of the Year. If we look at her match history, we'll see that really she only got called up to the main roster in July, although we did push her very, very hard because she was over in basically Lucha Underground, development company. She was one of the more over wrestlers there. So because of that, and because of her age, and because she's with WWE in real life now, I thought we'll bring her up, we'll give her a chance, and she's been spectacular. As you can see there, she was wrestling at another independent team, or other development, NXT Wild at the weekend. We actually released her, re-signed her again, with Lucha Underground, and she's definitely benefited from that. So, Women's Wrestler of the Year, Female Wrestler of the Year. Most Improved Company went to Lucha Underground. Won't cover them too much just now because it is one of our development companies. The second biggest ranked company, which is good to know, as I say, considering this is development. They're actually pulling, because of the way the industry is at the moment, as good attendances as we are in the main roster, so they're getting a lot of exposure. And if we check the size, basically that's the size they're rocking at the moment. They can't go higher than Cult because of their development. But if we to let them go and be a company again, they'd be very close to challenging ourselves. I'll say more in depth when we do cover development. Independent wrestler went to Michael Dante, so he's done well since leaving ourselves. Manager of the year went to Talia Madison, or as we know her as Velvet Sky. Being a manager in the likes of Ring of Honor and NXT Women, so she's been down there helping out our future women's wrestlers. Announcer of the year went to Kurt David, who's down in Lucha Underground, so that's one we've got developing. And he's basically a regenerated character, but someone, as I say, we do need good announcers in the future, and we're hoping that he's going to be one of them. Colour commentator went to Saraya Knight, who looks like she's ready to kill, basically. She does look very angry in that picture. But she wins the Colour Commentator of the Year, representing our NXT Women's brand, and Shimmer as a colour commentator. That side, Referee of the Year went to Jimmy Cordeas. He is at TNA. Don't know how you judge a referee in this, so yeah, he's there. Company Wars, so we're going to rate this first on importance and influence. In importance, it's ourselves top, followed by our development company Lucha Underground, then New Japan, then it's our NXT Women's brand, then Dragon Gate, then our NXT Development, CMML, All Japan, TNA and AAA, holding down in 10th place, the likes of IC Dub down in 15th, ROH in 11th, Evolve down in 20th. I'm actually now thinking I did buy Progress. I believe so. Anyway, in terms of influence, WWE International at the top, followed by New Japan. Next in terms of rankings would be Dragon Gate and All Japan, so wrestling is doing well in Japan. CMML in 5th, ROH in 6th, 7th place for AAA. Our development, Lucha Underground, is higher than TNA, and Noah is down in 10th place. NXT down in 15th place, that's good to see. NXT Women's in 16th. I believe we've got a couple of other development companies. Shimmer I know we've got as well, and imported the SWA, giving them an opportunity here as well. So, Power 500, let's see if we can identify any familiar names, any WWE names. So, Tanahashi has won Wrestler of the Year and is rated number 1 for the 4th year running. So, basically, he was already the default number 1, and the 3 years I've progressed this through for ranking 2018, 17, and 16. So, we're about to start my 4th year. So, for that, Tanahashi's won every year. Ibushi, a very high 2nd place. We'll skip through a good few guys there. CM Punk actually gained a few places after leaving us to go to Dragon Gate. He's up in 10th place. Our main man for WWE is Roman Reigns. A disappointing 15th place. He's dropped from 6th place last year. See Nakamura there in 16th. Doing well after leaving WWE. Next for us is Dean Ambrose, John Moxley down in 22nd place, so his lowest ranking as of yet. But as I say, one of the highest for WWE in 22nd. Keep going down. Seth Rollins in at 29. John Cena in at 30. And Randy Orton in at 32 under Rene Dupree. Would have thought that. Pleasing to see Zack Sabre Jr. jump up pretty much nearly 300 places, up to 34th. Baron Corbin with a good jump to 35th. Daniel Bryan comes in at the first time ranked at 37, with The Miz at 38. I do feel we're just going to run over the top 100. Kevin Steen, Kevin Owens in at 40. Get Braun Strowman in at 43, so a great jump up 400 places in 2 years. Bray Wyatt in at 45. AJ Styles drops to 48, but what can you do? He's got declining physical ability. Nishimura, who we barely use, in 49th. Cesaro in at 50th, down from 10th last year. Nick Nemeth, Dolph Ziggler at 52, so that's not too bad inside the top 50 odd. King Kenny up to 56 in the world, so again, could push him a little bit higher, but in a decent position at the moment. Sami Zayn just behind in 57th. 61st in the world, Bo Dallas. Could we get him into the top 10 one day? It remains to be seen, but you never know. Jack Swagger, no longer with WWE. We've let him go to Dragon Gate, and he's certainly reaping the rewards of that move there. So look at anybody else from WWE. Big E in at 76. So again, not really used Big E a lot this year, but he's in at 76. Rusev is in at 81. Seeing if there's anybody else there that is represented by ourselves, any of these luchadors. Big Cass at 86, he's down from 49. Hayato Junior Fujita, who we have left the company now, he's in at 91, so he did do a little drop there. Apart from that, as I say, it's mostly the Japanese wrestlers that are making up the Power 500, so a little bit disappointing there. But as I say, Tanahashi, so it's 3 times in a row that he's on Wrestler of the Year, so that's the 3 years we've done the awards in this game, so it'll be since 2016. Bit of variation in terms of our Tag Team of the Year, as you can see when it was El Zoro and Taurus, they've never won it before. Taurus won the Young Wrestler of the Year, Dragon Lee was the year before him. Togi Makabe had won the Veteran Wrestler of the Year, but El Zoro, as we know, won that. And ever since we've done this, it's been all female wrestlers from WWE that's won the Women's Wrestler of the Year. Becky Lynch in the first year, Britannia Knight, and now that's gone to Crazy Mary. It's been your Independent Wrestler of the Year in the last couple of years, so a bit of a few debatable selections. New Japan have won it the last twice, so I've got to try and make that back, only winning it in the first year. Still more, must improve. Lucha Underground have won that for the second year. Match of the year. So Roman Reigns has actually been in every one, with the first one being Seth AJ Finn against Reigns, Joe, and Kevin Owens. Last year's being Reigns against Seth Rollins, and this year, of course, being that one common factor, Roman Reigns. Card of the Year, again, we've won that 3 years in a row, with Armageddon being 86. I'm determined to try and get a 100. Hopefully, this year can be the year. Manager here, say Talia Madison for the first time. Same with Kurt David on the Announcer of the Year, and colour commentator to Syria Knight, and Jimmy Calderas winning Referee for the Year for the second time. So last thing we're just going to cover in this video is going to be the most popular wrestler in the world, Baron Corbin. Who the hell would have thought that? Baron Corbin, in terms of popularity, is the most average pop across the whole of the world. A92, he is your World Heavyweight Champion. If they just change that to the US, he'd be up to 93. Even in Japan, your main man, when 92 is Baron Corbin. So no matter where you go, apart from Australia, who like Daniel Bryan, it seems that your main man is Baron Corbin. The Rock is second at 91. Samoa Joe in there at 91 as well. And Daniel Bryan. Seth down at 90. But you can see this is something that's more going to be dominated by ourselves. Bray Wyatt at 90, as is Braun Strowman. CM Punk in there as well. A lot of common factors. A very surprising one. I think we'll more cover them. Bo Dallas coming in at number 10 with an average popularity of 90. I'll say we'll look more into him in the future, but that's how over Bo Dallas is. The implosion of Mojo Bojo has certainly benefited him. Zack Sabre Jr. at B plus 85 across the world was quite surprising and very pleasing. Virgo Devitt down at B82, still unemployed, still toxic. Despite a few people asking us to sign him. Not yet. Good to see Brody Lee still there, B-77, despite his exile to ECW. Getting there, Apollo Crews. Neville doing well as the king of the cruiserweights at a B-75. There's Alex Shelley in there as well. Big Cass. Samoa Joe repping a C plus 67, considering he's barely been used. Again, I'm quite happy with that. Crazy Mary Dobson, that's good to see. Hopefully we can push some of our female athletes into the top 100 in the world. She's got a C plus 66 across the world. Same Britannia just behind. This one is more dominated, I say, by ourselves and a few Japanese wrestlers. And that's good, we've managed to get Cody Rhodes back up to C60 across the place. Even Pete Dunne is in the top 100, so we do have a lot of wrestlers. As I say, the high majority of them are under contract here in WWE. So I say that's going to be it for this episode, guys. I say next time we'll be documenting our WWE roster. If you get any thoughts on the episode, if there any of you feel it's a bit of a surprise, who's been kind of winning your awards? Has it been remotely mostly New Japan guys. Have you noticed that it seems to be benefiting them a lot more, giving them a lot more awards? Let me know who's been winning yours, any type of award. And as I say, yeah, thanks for watching. I'll hopefully see you next time. Hopefully you enjoy these wee videos, just giving you a better idea of the landscape of the wrestling videos. So say thanks for watching, guys. See you next time. Bye bye.